Call recording is on.
All right. We're about to get this started. I want to welcome everyone. My friends from the West Coast are really happy with me right about now. I'm getting this thing started off at a later hour than normal. So it's late for the East Coast, but it's right on time for the West Coast. So I just want to thank everyone for joining me here. And I am just so excited to be able to share this information. This is my fourth presentation today. People are so excited about getting this tool in their hand. This course is an actual tool that's going to increase one's knowledge about finance and money, in particular taxes, and how to put more dollars in their pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it and get started. So you see on here, we're talking about building your empire. And you know, when you think of empires, whether it's the renowned Asian or Egyptian dynasties, or the Mongolian, Arabian, or American, or even British empires, then there's certain things that you think about when it comes to the vast amount of territories that they've accumulated, the provinces, and the extreme amount of wealth that gave them the title of empire or dynasty. So if we think about empires, especially back in the day, then one of the things we have to consider is, how did they amass such riches? And it was pretty easy how they became to amass these riches. It was through war and taxes. And if you think about it today, many countries, because of turmoil around the world, they still amass a lot of their riches through war and taxes. But in modern day times, that isn't as much. But in those days, when that was the case, the citizen, the business owner, they had to become very knowledgeable about the inner workings of the tax system of the province that they were living in and governed by. And then when they moved to another one, they needed to learn the tax systems there. So here in America, I know I have an international audience, but primarily I'm talking to my viewers here in America. So here in America, it's very important for us to understand the tax laws that are here in America, that we have a two-tax system here in America, one for the employee, one for the entrepreneur. Because taxes, the same way back in the day, has a major control on cash flow. So the better understanding and control you have on taxes, the better you're able to manage your cash flow. The more cash flow you're able to manage and amass, the more you're able to multiply it, and then that's going to give you the ability to buy, build, and grow those assets you need that you call your empire, that takes care of you and your family. Now, the challenge around taxes and why it's such a thorn in so many people's sides, and it also keeps people sort of like a deer in headlights, is because of the fear and intimidation that comes associated with it. Now, the IRS doesn't intentionally, and the government doesn't intentionally set out to intimidate the American public with taxes. Because a lot of what it does, and a lot of what's contained in the laws, are meant to reward. And I'll elaborate on it in a second. So, however, in order to make the masses be functional when it comes to the area of taxes, when you're talking about it, when you're doing things associated with it, and they not be caught like deer is caught in the headlights and just freeze and paralyzed and can't do anything. We need them to be functional. So in order to do that, we must look at, how do we help them overcome that fear? How does fear not become an obstacle to someone being successful and getting their cash flow and then using that cash flow to build their empire? Well, there's 3 steps to it. First deals with educating. So we're going to educate. So we're going to facilitate a better understanding of how taxes work and be able to maximize the two-tax system here in America. See, we want you to be able to maximize the tax system it has for the employees, understand how that works, and you get maximum benefit from it, and understand the tax laws that pertain to entrepreneurs, even part-time entrepreneurs, and maximize that as well. After educating, then it's time to empower. Is provide not only the education, but the tools needed to implement effective tax strategies and planning, which will allow the masses to minimize their tax liability while maximizing their cash flow. And I talk a lot about cash flow because cash flow is significant for us to be able to buy, build, and grow those income-producing assets. See, that means we're going to be buying our freedom. See, the only way you get to stop working and live your life out and sail off into the sunset is you build some assets that bring in an income and it replaces you. So it's very important, though, the importance of that cash flow in its relationship to taxes. Then it's a matter of impact. Once you have the knowledge and you have the tools, it's being able to effectively utilize those tools, effective tax strategies to legally avoid paying unnecessary taxes while maximizing your cash flow, and then utilizing that additional cash flow to advance to your financial goals. So we're not talking about evasion. That's illegal. We're talking about understanding the laws, becoming functional with the laws, so you can legally minimize your tax liability and maximize your cash flow. All right? Who am I? Who is this guy trying to talk to you about taxes and cash flow and all that? All right? So I'm TC Chambers. I'm the CEO of Smart Finances by TC. You know, a lot of people ask, well, what does TC stand for? Well, if you're looking at the guy on the left side, my right, I would say that TC stands for too cool. Because, you know, sometimes down here in Miami, you just got to have that swag. But if you're looking at the TC to your right, my left, the TC might stand for take charge. That's the CEO in me. Well, I'm just having a little fun with you. The TC stands for Terrell Chambers. It's my initials. And growing up, we just started calling each other by his initials, and it just carried on. And, you know, Terrell, I was getting Terrell, Terrence, Terry, all kinds of names. So TC kind of stuck with me. Now, I'm a tax and cash flow strategist. So I help people understand the relationship between taxes and cash flow. And by mastering taxes, it increases their cash flow. And then I help them understand what to do with that cash flow, how to manage it and how to multiply it. I'm a native Philadelphia, born and raised in Philly, so I bleed Eagles. I love cheesesteaks. And that's a picture of me my freshman year at Philadelphia College of Textiles and Science. So I studied computer science in school. You know, I stayed 2 years at Textiles. It was a private school, wonderful school. But then I ran out of money. That thing about that college wanting some money. Well, unfortunately, I could no longer afford to stay at Textiles. So I had to be resourceful. So I got into ROTC, transferred to a state college, and finished a wonderful, wonderful military, or college career, I should say. Ended up being cadet battalion commander. So no wonder I went on to be an Army officer. So I spent 8.5 years active duty, serving the country. I loved every minute of it. It was my honor and privilege to have the ability to put on that uniform and serve our country. But I realized, even as an officer in the military, I would not be able to reach my financial goals. So I decided I was going to get out. And my dad said, well, why are you getting out? And I said, because I want to get rich. I want to make a lot of money. And he said, well, you better go into sales. So I followed what my dad said, and I went into sales. I ended up in the medical sales. Now, as I got into medical sales, although I was making six figures, started making a lot of money, I didn't have as much time to benefit off of it, to take advantage of that. And then I ran into business. Next, I became an entrepreneur. Now, go back one. Next, I became an entrepreneur. So I've been an entrepreneur now for 24 years. 9 of those glorious years, 9 of them, I was a full-time employee with a part-time job that took up 40 to 60 hours of my week. Did you understand what I just said? Day one I got in business, I was a full-time entrepreneur. But for 9 years of that 24 spread out, I was a full-time entrepreneur with a part-time job that took up 40 to 60 hours of my week. Now, what does this have to do with taxes? Well, my first year in business, I also was in medical sales. So I made over 6 figures that first year. And you know what? The IRS ripped me a new one. In other words, they made me write a big check. Because although I was a business owner, I didn't pay attention to the taxes, to the tax laws. Now, it wasn't because I wasn't told. I have to this day a phenomenal mentor. The gentleman that became my mentor in 95 is still my mentor today. I always joke and say he is a much better mentor than I've been a mentoree. Well, I bet you better believe after that first year and taking the lick and having to write that big check to the IRS, I started paying very close attention to the taxes. So for 15 of those years, I've been full-time entrepreneur. So I've been using what I'm explaining to you tonight and teaching that's in this course, and I've been teaching it simultaneously. So I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a coach. But what I really, really have a passion for is I love mentoring kids. And you can see in some of these pictures, they were teaching me, because you can tell how my paint is all messed up and all off. But I enjoy being in the classroom with the children, mentoring them, guiding them, awards programs for them, So I'm really excited about that, teaching that younger generation what I didn't know when I was younger, giving them the upper hand. Lastly, I'm a knowledge broker and course creator. See, self-education is clearly the way of the future. It's a $355 million a day business now. More and more people are looking to digital courses to get the specific knowledge and tools they need to improve their job career, to become business owners, to improve their finances. So they understand they're going to get it specifically. So this course, Empire Growth Secrets, Taxes and Cash Flow, is about that. It's understanding the importance of taxes and the role that it plays on our cash flow. The course objectives are as such. First, we're going to declare war on taxes. We're going to fight for our cash flow. No longer being pansies, no longer being afraid. So I want you to think about this. When you come out of the department store, spending hours shopping, was in the food court, and you're coming down the steps, heading towards the door, and you see those detectors there. Are you afraid to leave the department store? Of course not, because you weren't shoplifting. You weren't doing anything illegal. So you swag right on out because you had a great shopping day. Well, once you understand the tax laws, how to apply them, how to document them, then you're going to feel comfortable experiencing tax savings, legally minimizing your liability, increasing your take-home pay. You're going to do it with swag and confidence. So we're going to declare war on taxes, and we're going to fight for your cash flow. Next, linguistics. We're going to learn the language of taxes so we're comfortable talking about it, comfortable hearing about it, preparing for it, planning for it. What's an allowance? What's an exemption? What is a deduction? What's a credit? We're going to learn about that. We're going to slay that two-headed monster. Our two-tax system. Understand what both, the pros and cons of both, and how to maximize both for your financial benefit. Always legally, morally, and ethically. Next, we're going to talk about correcting the tax withholdings. This is all about keeping $200 to $800 of your hard-earned money, more of it in your paycheck. See, the IRS says 100 million employees have the W-4 filled out incorrectly. Now, I hope you all have a pen and paper, because tonight I'm going to go over one of the forms on the W-4, one of the worksheets, and it will give you a pay raise if you're a W-2 employee. If you're a part of that 80%, you'll know it when we walk through that one worksheet of the W-4. So I'm going to give you some of the value that you find in that course tonight, right now. Also, we're going to talk about the 6 common tax deductions. In other words, what are the 6 things that's going to help you stop losing $3,000 to $10,000 in taxes annually? Stop losing $3,000 to $10,000 in taxes annually. Next, bulletproof tax record keeping. We're going to show you how to keep your records tight. A simple day by day, a few minutes a day, we'll keep them tight for you. Make them bulletproof. Talk tax preparation versus tax planning. See, tax preparation is a cost. You take your numbers to a tax professional, they put them in a block, and they prepare your form, and they submit them to the IRS. That's a cost. Tax planning, however, is understanding all the things you can do throughout the year to give them some significant numbers, and the one cost you pay for that tax planning is minimum compared to the return on investment you get and the thousands of dollars in tax savings. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, but the course goes over it extensively. Your business entity, are you legit? See, there's a misconception that if you're not an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, you're not legit. That's absolutely incorrect. See, the IRS wouldn't have created an entity called sole proprietorship or partnership if they weren't legitimate. And it all has their pros and cons, but whether you're a sole proprietor, a partnership, an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, if you're operating according to the IRS with respect to keeping good records, working your business regularly, which is 3 to 4 hours a week, and working with a profit intent, then you are seen as a legal business entity, and we're going to help you get all that done. Now, last but not least, the course is full of other bonuses I didn't talk about here, and so much more. Cash flow killers, we're going to talk about that. What are some of the other things except outside of taxes that kill your cash flow, that keep you from having that value cash flow to buy, build, and grow those income-producing assets? So again, I'm so excited to share this with you and let you be the first to have access and use this information even before we release the course nationwide. All right, who is this course for? It's for small business owners. It's for those that are self-employed, independent contractors. This is for affiliate marketers, online marketers, other online entrepreneurs, drop shippers, Amazoners. If you make money, if you have a side hustle, we're going to show you how to operate in accordance with the laws and statutes so that you maximize both tax codes. It's for the network marketers, for the influencers. How do you keep more of that hard-earned money that you're making? How do you make it last? How do you multiply it? How do you protect it? It's for the personal trainers, the yogis, the coaches. It's for anyone wanting to legally avoid paying unnecessary taxes. I want to say that again. It's not about tax evasion or anything illegal. No gray areas. It's about those wanting to legally avoid paying unnecessary taxes. Now, why is the course relevant? First of all, it's relevant because we're going to help prevent 100 million Americans from continuing to overpay federal income tax every single pay period, robbing themselves of valuable dollars that they can use to buy, build, and growing income-producing assets. They can be using for ad spend. They can be using for marketing tools, whether it's a ClickFunnels or Aweber or a Builderall, whether it's for brochures, dollars that they need to take care of themselves, their family, and help enrich and grow their business. Why is it relevant? Because it's going to stop millions of entrepreneurs from losing thousands of dollars annually in tax deductions. Just think about this. If you are an entrepreneur right now, an affiliate, an influencer, a network marketer, a yogi, if you're a personal trainer, the tax deduction for business miles this year is 58 cents a mile. So in other words, today and prior, if you haven't been tracking your mileage, understanding how to maximize your miles as being business miles, every 2 miles, you lost $1.16. Every 2 miles tomorrow, you stand to lose $1.16 in tax deductions. So it's very important, it's relevant that the entrepreneur gets this information, gets this tool in their hand with our support and our guidance to walk you through how you stop these tax leaks. It's relevant because we prevent entrepreneurs who are doing due diligence or working hard to change their lives in good faith, but they keep poor records so they get penalized. So we're going to help protect them, prevent that from happening. Failing to do proper tax planning is planning to fail. So we're going to give you an opportunity to understand tax planning and ability to get some tax planning one-on-one time. See, you that are going to be a part of the beta period, you're going to get some one-on-one time to get this done, your personal situations taken into consideration. All right? It is necessary. It's relevant because it is necessary to equip the masses with not just the knowledge, but the tools they need to improve their tax and cash flow situation. Okay, so I hope you all have your pen and paper ready, because now it's time to get you a pay raise if you're a W-2 employee. Or if your spouse is a W-2 employee, it's now time for me to show you how to put some more cash flow into your household. And this just scratches the surface of the value and the results that this course, this tool is going to give you. Okay, the W-4. The W-4 is the first tool. Now, the IRS says 100 million working people have this form filled out incorrectly. So don't feel bad if you graduated from Temple University, Clarion University. That means 100 million people, they graduated from Ivy League too. University of Miami. 100 million people, they're attorneys, doctors, teachers, lawyers. They're bartenders, servers, across the gamut. So now let's talk about the purpose. You can't really see it on this form, so I blew it up. The second paragraph talks about the purpose of this form. Now, the purpose of the form is powerful. And this is the IRS saying. The purpose of the W-4, they say complete form W-4 so that your employer, you tell your employer the correct amount of federal income tax withhold from your check. So how you complete this tells your employer how much federal income tax to withhold from your paycheck and then forward it to the IRS. So the IRS is not digging in your paycheck. Your employer is sending it based on how you fill this form out. But the IRS gives additional instructions. They say consider completing a new one each year. That means every year, and when your personal or financial situation changes. So imagine you first got your job, you were single, no children. You might have changed some jobs, and now you have a child. Well, guess what? Your personal and financial situation might have just changed. So you should have filled it out again. Now, unfortunately, many of the staff members and HRs aren't equipped, and it's not their job to walk you through it line by line. Their responsibility is to give you new hire paperwork, make sure everything is signed and dated and all the blocks filled out, and then they are to submit it. So it's not their fault that hundreds of million Americans have this filled out incorrectly. Most people only see this portion of W-4. They never even see the instructions. So they're given this portion, especially they do it electronically, and it's like, okay, complete this form, fill it out. Well, I took the liberty of filling one out for you. Now, I'm going to go over where I got the number from in block 5. But you see it's basically first name, last name. So in this example, I'm using first name of Tax, last name Slater. And, you know, my address is 500 Elevate. You don't know the significance of that, but you soon will. Right? And block 5 is what you put where you put your total allowances. Now, it's the total allowances that you came up with from work doing the worksheets. But most people never even seen the worksheets, or it's so much black and white, little writing, they go, and they put 0 or take somebody's bad advice. All right, so that's page 1 of it. All right, what I showed you up top, and this is the bottom of page 1. Page 2 is just some more instructions, and then page 3 is where we are about to make you some money. We are about to put some money in your paycheck. See, page 3 is the personal allowances worksheet. Now, at the bottom of page 3, we're not going to go over today. We'll go over it extensively in the course, is the deductions, additional allowances, and additional income sheet. All right, we're not going to go over that one. But we're going to go over this one here that will give the masses pay raises. All right, so I took the liberty to fill this one out as well. And I'll give you a little background, a little information on it. I'm a teacher. I'm a single parent. I have 2 children. One's 7, one's 13, and I make $65,000 a year. So I'm a single parent, make $65,000 a year, and I'm a teacher. So now, let's fill this out line by line. Follow me. Let's fill it out line by line, and I want you, alongside on a sheet of paper, to put what the answers would be for you. So you know just how simple this process is. And even though we go through it quickly here, those that are part of beta will get a call with me, a one-on-one call with me, and I'll walk you through it line by line. In fact, I'll walk you through multiple worksheets on this form to ensure that we increase your take-home pay $200 to $800, to ensure that you're not losing $3,000 to $10,000 this year in taxes. So first line says, enter 1 for yourself. See, my question is, why would anyone have 0 when the IRS's first instructions is enter 1 for yourself? Either somebody's know more than the IRS or they don't. So now I have 1 on line A. Line B says enter 1 if you're married filing joint. I'm not, I'm single, a single parent, so I put 0 on that line. Write down what applies to you. Line C, enter 1 if you file head of household. That's me. I'm a single parent. I file head of household. So I put 1 there. Now note, we're not going to go back up to the instructions. You'll be able to look through that during the course. But on page 1 in the right column of line C, or instruction for line C, it says head of household. And what it says is you can usually claim head of household filing status on your taxes if you are 1, unmarried. So it doesn't matter which individual in the marriage makes more money or less money. The wife might say, honey, I make more, so I'm going to put head of household on mine. No, the first requirement is you're unmarried. Second, you take care of at least 50% or more than 50% of the upkeep of the house. So right here, some of my single friends will look, yo, that's me, I'm unmarried. I take care of 100% upkeep the house. I'm going to put head of household. Not quite, no, not so fast. The third requirement is you taking care of 50% or more of the household of you and a qualified individual. So it could be your child, a dependent, an elderly person that you're taking care of, you're a guardian of a younger brother or sister. So there's 3 requirements. So I fit all 3, so I put 1. Line D, if any one of these 3 apply, then you get to put 1 on line D. You get allowance for line D. Now, you're single or you're married filing separate. So I'm single, not married filing separate. I'm single and I have 1 job. Now, in reality, I don't. But as in this example, I'm a teacher, so I have 1 job. So that right there alone qualifies me for 1. Now, not everybody falls in that category. So I say, okay, if that's not your category, if you're married filing joint and your spouse doesn't work, you get an allowance there. If neither of those 2 apply, if your wages from a second job or your wife has wages or the wages combined is less than $1,500, you get 1 there. So fill that out how it applies to you. For me, it's 1. Line E, here is the money line. If you had YouTube on or the TV on, you need to stop listening to it right now and pay very close attention if you're a parent. This line here affects parents the most, either positively or negatively. Positively, if you correct it and you have it right. Negatively, if you have it incorrect. Now, child tax credit. So, if your total income will be less than $71,201 if you are single or married filing separate, but if you're married filing joint, if it's less than $103,351, guess what? For each of your children that are under 17, you get 4 allowances. Yep, you heard me right. For each of your children under 17, as long as you fall within them income brackets, you get 4 allowances per child. So for me, I have 2 that fall in that category. One's 7, one's 13. So I have 8 allowances on line E. And then there's a few other categories. If you make between $71,000 and $179,000, single or married filing separate, or combined, you're at between $103,000 and $345,000, you're going to get 2 allowances per child. One more category, if you're between $179,000 or $200,000, if you're single or married filing separate, you get 1. And then if the last category, if it's $345,000 to $400,000 married filing joint, you get 1. Anything over $200,000, you're single or married filing separate, no allowances, they figure you don't need it, you have some other things you need to deal with. And married combined, 400 or over, you don't need it, you have some other things you need to look at. All right, so on line E, 8 allowances. Line F is credits for other dependents. In other words, if they're 17 years or older, then I'm going to get an allowance for up to 1 allowance for here. So the formula is there. So I don't get any for that. Line G, other credits. So if in 2018, when you filed your taxes, you got a child tax credit, or an earned income credit, you're paying for daycare or aftercare, you get another allowance there. That doesn't apply to me. Neither of my children are in daycare or aftercare, so I have 0 there. And line H says total them all up. For me, my total is 11. For you, your total is whatever it's going to be. That might be the first time you've ever seen a number that high on your W-4, because it may be the first time you were ever encouraged to go through it and fill it out correctly. Our aim, our goal with this course is results. We don't want to provide a course that someone purchases and it just takes some space on their hard drive. You know, almost like if it was a physical course, it's just a paperweight. We want results. We want it to impact people's lives. And so having said that, this course is results oriented. And our short-term goal is within the next 6 to 18 months is to elevate the financial IQ, to elevate the financial literacy, to elevate the tax knowledge of 5,000 people. Thus, we're going to educate about the tax laws, the two-headed monster, how it works. How do you apply them to yourself? How do you document it? We're going to empower you with the tools to execute, with the support to execute. And then it's about impacting your finances, impacting your tax situation, impacting your cash flow, and then all of those around you. See, once you got the knowledge and tools, your children will know. Your grandchildren will know. Your nieces and nephews can now know. Your fraternity brothers, your sorority sisters, they can now know. Your community, your church, they can now know because you have the information and knowledge to be able to teach them. Now, what all are you going to get in this course? See, when we launched the course, and right now we're talking about beta. We're talking about the individuals that are first adopters, early adopters, that are going to be able to benefit from the contents of the course before we release the course. When we release the course, it's going to cost $497. Now, I had to consult with some folks because originally it was $997. I took one of the modules out that was a full-fledged module on business entities. So I replaced it with a very basic one. Reason being is because there's literally hundreds of thousands of people that start online businesses weekly, probably daily. And there are hundreds of thousands that have been in business for less than a year, less than 2 years. And really, they don't need an LLC right now. They're not at that stage. An S Corp. They don't need a C Corp. They don't need right now to know step by step how to set one up. It's unnecessary. So the thought process is, why let a potential additional cost of $500 prevent someone who's just getting started from getting the knowledge and the results they can get right now that can help them move the needle in their business? So I pulled it out, and it's going to be a separate course. But guess what? Every single one of you early adopters, when I do release the course later in the year, the full-fledged entity course that everyone else will have to pay full price for, you will get it automatically. It will be included. So for you having faith and having vision and aligning with us during this beta period, you're going to get that full course. That's just one of the bonuses and treats that you're going to get. So just know that. But the course is going to cost $497. And one of the first modules, now this isn't the first module, but one of the first modules that really moves the needle is correcting tax withholdings, and you already have an idea. That just scratches the surface of what we're able to accomplish with that W-4. So I put that as a $2,400 value. Now, the reason I gave that value, and that's low end, because typically across the board, we've been able to help folks that have applied these strategies, and I've been able to work with over the years, put $200 to $800 monthly back in their paycheck. So $200 times 12 is $2,400. So on the low end, it's a $2,400 value, but for most, it's much higher than that. The 6 common tax deductions. In other words, what are the 6 most common reasons that cause people not to save $3,000 to $10,000 a year on their taxes? Or another way to say it, causing them to lose $3,000 to $10,000 a year. So that's another one of the modules that's about nothing but pure value. All right? So I put a $3,000 value on that. Again, low end. Next, tax planning, tax strategy. See, tax preparation is you bringing some numbers to your tax professional and having that person put them in the right blocks. Tax planning is knowing what numbers, accumulating what numbers so that you win come tax season. See, you only win at tax season when you've had proper planning throughout the year, which one allows you maximizing your take-home pay, keeping as much of your tax dollars in your paycheck. Not just the tax dollars that you were overpaying traditionally by having your W-4 filled out wrong, but the other tax dollars from the IRS says, tell us what other expenses you're going to have. Forecasting what your car and truck expenses are going to be. Forecasting what your travel expenses are going to be. Forecasting the wages you're going to pay your children for helping you in your business. That's right, wages. You can pay your children up to $12,200 a year for helping you in your business. And I'll go over exactly how to do that. I know it sounds strange. I know you're, what about tax What about child tax law? What about child labor laws? How old they need to be? We go over that in detail so you know exactly how to apply that. That's easily a $3,000 value, but as me, I'm always super conservative on the estimate, but I over-deliver always. Now, your business entity. So we're going to talk about this. I put the value at $1,000 because I'm going to make sure you maximize the entity that you have right now. You understand what the next steps are going to be, what are future entities that you can transition into, but you will absolutely maximize the business entity that you're in. The total value of what's coming in this course is over $9,400 of value. Now, there's more modules. I have like 8 modules in there, over 25 lessons. It's value packed. This is just 4 of the most stacked up ones that's going to give you immediate cash flow. Now, there are some bonuses. Many of the bonuses only you, the early adopters, are going to get. First, understand that we're going to have group coaching. So once this launches, and of course during beta we're going to have that, but we're going to have even more for beta. But we're going to have group coaching. So once they get the course, we're going to have some group coaching to help them along in the process. So I put a value at $497 because when we launch, that's what's going to cost them to get the course. And only members that have the course will be a part of this group coaching. Okay? Next is going to be twice a week Q&A calls. Now that's just during the beta period. We're not going to do twice a week Q&A calls once we launch. We're going to have some other mechanisms in place. But for the early adopters, before you actually get the course in your hand, we're going to make sure that you have results right away. You have results. See, I'm passionate about the results. I don't want you to have the course and not get results. See, I'm going to put a guarantee return. I'm going to put a guarantee in there on your return on investment. I'll talk about that in a second. So I put a $497 value on that because guess what? There will be no Q&A down the road for those folks unless they do have the investment. Now, it won't be twice a week, but there'll be some Q&A and some coaching. Next, this is something special for you. For the early adopters. For those that have the vision. For those that vote with their dollars. For those that believe in what they're seeing now and understand there's a mass void, each and every one of you is going to get a one-on-one 45-minute coaching call with me. So we'll verify and validate your W-4, both worksheets, and whatever time we left in that, we'll do a little coaching and talk about your business entity. We'll talk about some of the deductions that are available. So you'll be able to start that immediately, right away. You'll be able to schedule those calls with me right away. Okay? Now, I put that at a $375 value. Now, first of all, let me make this clear. That one-on-one coaching won't be available for those that purchase during the launch. That one-on-one coaching is usually only available for my annual tax planning clients because there's just not enough time. So for my annual clients is usually who that's for. So all the early adopters are going to get that one-on-one, 45 minutes one-on-one. Anything you didn't clarify through the group, through the Q&A, we're going to take care of it during one-on-one. All right? Next, early adopters are going to get a $500 discount towards our annual tax plan. That's for those who want to get tax planning, who see the value in it, and they want to get some help. A lot of times people realize they need some help. I have a coach. I have a mentor because I know I need help. Now, the total value of just the bonuses is a little over $2,200. Now, remember, there are some things in there only for the beta members. Only for the beta members. And that's the twice a week Q&A calls. So either through Zoom or a webinar system. That one-on-one 45-minute call. Exclusively for, again, the beta folks. All right? Now understand, this beta is not going on until the launch 30 days from now. This beta period is only going on until 11:59 p.m. on the 4th of July. And then it's done until launch. Of course, we'll work with you, but nobody else will be able to get in at this beta price. All right? So you're going to find out what that is in a second. So course and bonuses total value is over $11,644. And I already monetized. I show you how it is. And I've been super conservative. See, it's all about getting results. It's about putting dollars in your hand right now. No overtime, no part-time job, no sales to get that, no asking your boss. It's getting some knowledge, tools to apply that knowledge, and support and coaching. So when they go to buy the course, I already told you, it's going to be a one-time investment of $497. Now, I call it an investment because you're absolutely going to get a return on that investment. You're absolutely going to start getting more money in your paycheck. You're absolutely going to start saving thousands on your taxes. And the knowledge you get, you can never, ever take it away, which means now you're empowered to help your children, nieces and nephews that you already know will not get this education, this knowledge in a traditional education system. Now, for our early adopters, there's a one-time investment of $197. Now, here's my guarantee to you. I guarantee and promise to you it's a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee, and you still get to keep the course, and you still get the business entity course when I launch it, that you double your investment. Your return will be double, minimum double that $197 in 60 days. Double. If you take that one-on-one call with me, we go through both worksheets. You submit your W-4 to your employer. Double your investment, you will be your return. Double. I guarantee that. I put a 60-day, 100%, no questions asked behind that. Now, it's simple. It's easy to prove. You'll know what your allowances were before you started the course, before we started this beta period, before we went through adjusting your W-4. Your pay stub will show what it was before. Your pay stub will show what it is after. If after 60 days you didn't double your return, I'm going to give it all back. 100% of your $197. You still keep the course and you still get the business entity upgrade. Now, to access the course, all you need to do, go to www.empiregrowthsecretsmvp.com, like most valuable person. empiregrowthsecretsmvp.com. Again, what are you going to get in the course? At launch, it's going to cost $495. Reduced, so more accessible, so it can impact more people. Correct tax withholdings, $2,400 value. The 6 common tax deductions, $3,000 value. Tax planning and strategy, $3,000 value. Your business entity, maximizing what you have right now and understanding what's to come, $1,000 value. That's a $9,400 value just for the course itself. Bonuses, especially the bonuses that you are going to get in the beta. 1, EGS, group coaching. So you're going to get group coaching. Down the road, they're going to get that too, but it's going to be a much more intimate group that we have. That's a $497 value. EGS, Q&A calls, twice a week for my beta group. Twice a week. So we ensure you have it. Ensure you implement it. Ensure you get results. And then there'll be some Q&A down the road for those that get the course when it's full price and full launch, but it won't be twice a week. I promise you that. That's a $497 value. This is special, this right here. This right here is worth its weight in gold because we get time one-on-one to personalize what you need based on your financial situation, based on your business, based on your activity. Do you have supply? Do you have inventory? Do you have shipping? Do you have little helpers like your kids? Are they passing out flyers? Are they in your IG post, in your blog? Are you paying them for that? So it's that quality one-on-one time that's going to give you immediate impact, immediate results. This isn't about getting courses out there. It's about getting results. That right there is a $375 value. And it's really way, way more than that because it's going to give you way more results, way more clarity than that, but I had to put something on it. Now, discount for annual tax planning. I promise you, there are going to be more people that want to get our tax planning than we have staffing and ability to satisfy that demand. So the first ones out the box will be able to get that, but the first ones that get to accept that and request that are you guys, because the beta, we're going to be talking one-on-one, we're going to have intimate group coaching, we're going to be having Q&A calls twice a week, so you'll know early on, even before we launch, whether tax planning is something that is needed, something that you want, something that you see value in. Again, the bonus is valued at about $2,244. Again, there's some specials in there just for the beta, the twice-a-week Q&As, the 45-minute one-on-one calls with me, helping you directly, intimate time, all right? Total value of the course and the bonus is $11,644. Launch, $497. Beta, $197, but only until 11:59 p.m., 4th of July. Now, don't wait till the last minute. Do not wait till the last minute, because once we reach a certain amount, then we're like, okay, this is more than we're going to be able to service on those one-on-one calls. So once we reach a certain amount, then we're going to have to shut it off. So until we reach the amount that's manageable, it's going to stay open. So whichever one comes first, we reach that amount where it's no longer manageable to do it comfortably, to be able to serve at the highest level with those one-on-one calls and do all that, or the 4th of July, 11:59. So take action immediately so you have the benefit of getting everything you need, especially that one-on-one quality time. Now, I'm really, really excited, and I appreciate you taking your time. Lastly, again, to access this information, to access the course, to reserve your position, to become a part of the beta, and start getting this knowledge, and by next paycheck, the next one after that, worst case, have significant dollars back in. See, I want you to think about this. The conversation I typically have with someone in January is this. Here are your two options. I can help you put $300 a month more every single paycheck, every single month throughout the year. That's extra $3,600 that you have throughout the year to help you with ad spend, to help you with marketing tools, to help you with supplies, to help you with more groceries, to help you take care of your family, to help you move the needle of your personal finances. See, you're the CEO of your finances, whether it's just your household and your business or the two combined. Or you could wait until 2020 and get a $3,600 tax refund, and that money didn't get to benefit you at all. See, that's going to get you to look at your tax refund a little different. If you're part of the beta, because we're going to work on both worksheets, the other part is, do you want an extra $500 a month over and above that $300 every single month throughout the year, which is another $6,000 of operating capital for your business? Or do you want $6,000 more in your tax refund next year, 2020, sometime between February and April? So do you want to have an extra $300 to $800, $200 to $800 working capital every single month throughout the year to help move your needle? Or do you want to have a fat $9,000 tax refund next year that made you no money throughout the year? It's a thought process. See, you align with us, you become a part of this beta, and come 4th of July, you will not be having a barbecue. You'll be having a business luncheon, and 50% of the refreshments that you serve, you'll be getting a tax deduction for. And we'll show you how to do that properly, legally, morally, and ethically. You won't be traveling to no family reunions this summer, because you have set appointments in whatever city you're traveling to, and you'll be taking a business trip there and then having to be spending some time with family. See, it's a paradigm shift along with a cash flow shift. So I invite you to become a part of this beta, be enriched, be a part of the 5,000 that we elevate, that we educate, empower, give them the tools to impact their lives and everyone around them. Thank you, and take action. In this post, you see a link. Press the link and it'll take you to the page that'll, one, give you the opportunity to get a free PDF that deals with taxes. I'm sure you'll find that PDF interesting. And then it'll give you access to the order page. So take action today. If you're watching this replay, start from the beginning, have your pen and paper. If you're watching this via webinar, then go to www.empiregrowthsecretsmvp.com and get started right now. Thank you, and I see you. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Take care.